definitely didn't flinch. It just went across his face, and he just looked at him like, what? Like, oh, shit.
You know what's scary? I think if you actually hit him in the face with a real bottle, he'd probably give you the same reaction.
You know, he probably would. I mean, I would give him, maybe a little bit of a flinch, because a real bottle has a little bit of force, so, just by inertia alone, you will flinch a little, but
he'll be angrier.
He'll definitely be, like, it will piss him off more. Yeah.
And then I love Johnny Mundo, like, okay, I see that I can't do nothing. Here you go, big guy.
Yep.
Feeds Taya to him, hooks up Weapon X, hits it, wins.
Yep.
That's it.
I mean,
Cage is this Wolverine.
Yep.
You can't kill him.
No.
He's the man.
He is.
And the feud continues.
Mm-hmm.
We have Ivelisse and Himiko and Son of Havoc.
Mm-hmm.
Ivelisse strikes a deal with Katrina.
Yep.
They get their title match against the Disciples of Death. Thing is, if they lose, they got to hit the open road permanently.
All right.
And they're like, what? You kidding me?
You stupid bitch. You were terrible at this.
And she's like, hey, you sent me in there, you said anything.
Mm-hmm.
This is anything. Yeah. So we just got to fucking nut up and fight.
Yeah.
You two nut up and fight and whatever.
And I'll just, girl nut up. I don't know. Whatever the girls do.
Lady balls up and fight.
Yeah. And Helico's like, you used to date her. Or he's
like, that's your girlfriend.
That's your girlfriend. He's like, ex-girlfriend, get it right. And I'm like, oh, we're still rigging that bell, are we?
Yeah. So that match will happen.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Main event time.
Yep.
Mil Muertes.
Mm-hmm.
Prince Puma.
Mm-hmm.
Pentagon Jr.
Yes.
Triple threat.
Yes.
Gave it about 15 minutes.
Yes.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yes. I mean...
Like...
Not that I'm surprised, but...
Like, that's the thing with this show. As much as we laugh and joke, oh, nunchuck fights, ha ha ha.
Mm-hmm. There's still great wrestling that holds it together. When the
wrestling gets in there and the wrestling starts happening...
It's always great.
I guess we forgot the famous B bit.
Oh, right, yeah.
Where he's
a
wizard.
Went on for a while. He's a wizard, yes.
Call 423 Get Fame. And then he turned that chick into...
Has anyone called that number yet? I want to know.
Apparently, it's a real number.
Oh, really?
And there's a recording.
Okay.
It's him.
I knew it was a real number. I'm looking at the numbers going, okay, that's real. Somebody has to have called it by now.
Yeah, it's a recording of him.
I know.
I think. Cool. So he pimped a woman out.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Like, she was all toe up from the flow up, in his words, and Alakazam!
Yeah.
And now she's a hoe.
She a hoe.
And then he drove off with her.
Yeah.
But I loved at the end of it, there was actually an uncomfortable pause where the commercial ended, and they were kind of just like... awkwardly smiling, not saying anything, and then the segment ended, and I'm like, oh, every week.
It's gonna have to happen.
He's getting better.
Yeah.
No, but he says he's a retired underground fighter.
This is true.
So he might just be a manager.
He might be, but...
Which I'd be fine with.
I kind of want to see him in the ring. But as long as he's talking, I'm happy, man.
Exactly. But we get back to this main event.
Yeah.
Like I said, they gave it time. There was plunder because there's no DQ.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
I know. Ridiculous.
Like I said, when you get down to brass tacks in the show and the wrestling, and you watch the wrestling, it's fucking amazing. It's not just Lucha Libre that's amazing. It's wrestling. It's solid wrestling.
Yeah, no, it is literally, it is professional
And I would
wrestling.
hope that all the gimmicks and all the funny stuff aside, people don't forget that this is
a wrestling
also
show at its heart, right?
At its
like
heart.
it's a wrestling show turned up to 11. It's got great wrestling, but it's storylines instead of being, simple like backstage interview type stuff. They just make fully produced weird television. That's it. That's the only difference. It's a real legitimate wrestling show.
And Mil Muertes is great. Ricky Banderas.
Oh, he's fantastic.
40.
Yeah.
I
mean, the way he works, you can see it. He's definitely up there. He's got like a little bit of a ring general vibe to him, but still can go like crazy.
Well, the look, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because his look, generic, big guy, tattoos.
Yeah.
A little bit of a generic looking lucha mask.
Yeah.
His eyes are cool. The contacts he wears make him.
Make it definitely
make it
add to the character for sure. But yeah, like he's still.
But he's a fucking brick shithouse.
Oh god, yeah.
And he will run through your ass.
Yeah,
and he makes no bones about being a juggernaut in there, especially when he's in there with a guy like Prince Puma. Because Prince Puma could take a beating.
Oh yeah, which is amazing for matches like this where like basically Mil could just toss his ass around.
And the fact that Prince Puma's so good at selling with a mask on.
Yeah.
Because that's hard to do. It's hard to emote with a mask
really
on.
is,
but you can see it in his eyes that when he's getting up and he's stunned, stunned, he's groggy, he's just gotten a wallop,
Yeah, he's not overselling, he's just hitting the right spot. It actually works insanely well.
He goes, you know what he does the best? He goes right up to where it's like Shawn Michaels selling for Hogan.
For Hogan that one time.
That one time at SummerSlam, where it's ridiculous. But he goes up to that line and kind of just... He walks the line.
Yeah, he does walk
without ever going over.
Yeah, like he could easily, like if he oversold just a hair, it would look ridiculous. But he manages to find that perfect line, and it's great. It's fantastic.
And then we bigged up Pentagon Jr. this whole season.
Well, yeah,
because like I said,
he's been the star.
Last year he was just not a cool looking jobber, but he wasn't.
He wasn't much of anything really. Until the end.
But then he started, he started breaking arms, and we're like, okay, they're giving this guy something. Obviously, he's got a gimmick now. He's breaking another jobber's arms.
Yeah,
and then he became like one of the main stars of the show at the end of the season.
Yeah,
and pick up season 2.
He's been continuing that.
He's
trend,
been fighting Prince Puma this whole time.
Yeah,
who was the star, the guy. Of season 1.
Yeah.
And he's been feuding with him, and now he's feuding with Mill. Like, he's feuding. He's no longer breaking Jobber's arms. He's in main event matches with the best of the best that Lucha Underground has to offer. And he's hanging with them.
Oh, God,
and he's got the fans. All the fans. Yeah, man. They do his chant.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's not a heel anymore. No, he's a tweener.
He's a tweener because, I mean, he's still going to be a bad guy because he's still going to break arms.
Because you can't look like that.
No, you can't.
You can't look like a fucking Japanese...
No.
Luchador skeleton and be a good guy.
Yeah, no, he can't be, smiling and waving kind of deal. But, he can definitely be a fan favorite in a sense of everything he does is still very, very cool. He's very much the cool heel that a lot of people don't like to have, but, hey, fuck it,
And then you got Prince in there being the pure face. And then you got Mill being the pure heel.
Yeah. It works. It's a good dynamic.
You got dark, you got the light, you got the gray in the middle. Those guys in the ring, they can all wrestle, they can all go.
Yep.
You give it time.
Yeah, it's all magical. What can you do?
And it was a solid wrestling match. Yeah. And the Plunder added, and Mill won clean. It was great.
Yeah. Oh, I enjoyed it.
And then at the end of it, Phoenix, comes in and says, I'm turning it in. Yeah. I'm turning this in. That's it.
Yep.
No more BS.
I'm going for this.
Next week, I fight you.
Kicking your ass.
So for next week, aka I guess tomorrow, we're gonna get Mil Muertes versus Phoenix, which we all know from season 1 was probably the best feud.
Yeah. So
that season 1 had. Yeah. So we're just gonna rekindle that one. Okay.
All right, if we have to.
And then we'll continue the Puma Pentagon stuff. This all leads to Aztec warfare.
Yep. It's fucking awesome.
And now I'm hearing. I don't know if it's tonight. I know it's soon. They're branching out.
Oh, really?
They're at the South by Southwest festival. I think this is if I'm correct. I think I might be correct about this. I'm pretty sure. But I think it's called Austin Warfare instead of Aztec Warfare.
All right.
And it's going to be a show at the South by Southwest festival, which if you don't know is in Austin, Texas, and like one of the biggest arts and music festivals in the world. Yeah. So kind of exposure...
That's a big fucking deal.
Because those hipsters would love the shit out of Lucha Underground... Yeah. Like, hipsters would look at WWE and be like, ugh, that's garbage.
Yeah, but this is right up
hipster
This is hipster gold.
This is hipster gold.
They're about, from what I heard, they're like weeks away from signing a deal with Netflix.
Yeah, for season 1 and eventually season 2, which will get you into... millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of people's homes.
Yeah. And it'll also be a good revenue stream to ensure, season 3 and 4. So,
And a movie, eventually, because they want to do a movie, because you could do a movie with this stuff.
Yes, you fucking can. So, all right.
Like, this on Netflix would be amazing.
Oh, it would be
But it would be dangerous.
It would be, yeah.
Although, I don't think the deal with Netflix wouldn't be, like, original programming, right?
Oh, it could be.
It wouldn't be like they'll just release season 3 all in one.
No. They could do it week by week. Yeah, they do have some shows that they do that.
Oh, on Netflix?
Yeah, they have some like that where they do that where it's week to week, depending on how, the setup of the show. And, the deal with Lucha Underground could be it has to air on, the El Rey network first, and then, like, Netflix, like, the next day. You know what I mean? Like, because everything is updated on Netflix on a Friday. They could have it air on its usual Wednesday and then update it on Friday.
Because people were talking about, like, if there's a season 2, if El Rey can't do it, maybe Netflix can pick it up.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk. And Netflix apparently was the one who bit first. Apparently they were in.
Netflix needs a wrestling show.
They do. And this is right up their alley.
Wrestling's still a thing.
Yeah.
As much as people want to say wrestling's dead and wrestling's not popular anymore, it's still a thing. Trust me, if you show... I've shown some friends that have no idea what Lucha Underground was. They like WWE, but I show them Lucha and they're like, what the fuck? This is amazing. What is this? So if you can be on Netflix just scrolling going, no, what's new? What's this? Lucha Underground. You click on episode 1, you're hooked. You're instantly hooked.
Yeah, no, it could get a lot of the casual fan who's not even a really big wrestling fan. I guarantee you that there will be people... My wife
watched an episode.
Of course.
And she was like, it wouldn't be something I'd watch on a week-to-week basis, but that was cool.
Yeah, and I mean, you could actually get, I guarantee you could actually get non-wrestling fans who would fast-forward through the match just to watch the weird telenovela. Guarantee you. Guaranteed.
Because, again, who wouldn't want to see a fucking bunch of dudes in masks with nunchucks?
Yep. I mean, it is so fucked up, it could easily work.
So, this was an amazing episode. Between the nunchuck fight and the cage stuff and the main event. You know.
I apologize, folks. I'm working wounded at the moment.
And the whole money post of it all.
Yes.
With her weird brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Lucha. Hey, look at that. And once again, it's fantastic.
Of course.
ROH.
Yes.
Was one match. Well, several matches in one format. It was a 17 gauntlet.
Yes.
Started with Red Dragon versus Coleman and Will Ferrara. Red Dragon wins. Coleman and Will Ferrara had a good showing. They move on. Red Dragon then fought Joey, who's your daddy Ego. And the newest HOD hopeful, Chris LaRusso.
Okay.
Who's a martial arts expert.
All right.
And a lawyer.
Because those two things match perfectly.
And as soon as Truth Martini said he was a lawyer, Chris LaRusso literally had a card ready, and he put it in...
The House of Truth.
He put it in, what's-his-face? No. He put it in his front pocket. And Truth Martini's like, thank you. Just in case you need a lawyer.
Well, he does.
Someone like Truth Martini seems like the type that would need a lawyer.
Yeah.
And go figure, Red Dragon beat them. And, you know... No go for Chris LaRusso.
No.
Sorry. You can't
shame.
be Donovan Dijak's replacement as Truth Martini and Joey, who's your daddy Ego, a.k.a. Mini Tista, are still looking for a partner for that tag team gold.
Oh, nerds.
Of course.
Yes.
The next match, the next team, if you will, those young whippersnappers, the Young Bucks.
I know them.
Those rascally...
Those wascally wabbits.
They come out.
Yep.
They super kick Chris LaRusso as he's making his way to the back.
Because, got to make sure.
Because, super kick. And then, of course, they get in there, and, of course, it's the best match out of all these matches. Because it's the Young Bucks and Red Dragon, and like Batman and Joker, they can do this forever.
Yes.
And the Young Bucks get the win. Well done there. They then move on to fight Tim Hughes and Brutal Bob Evans, a.k.a. Tough Guy Inc.
Okay.
And this was more comedy than anything.
I can imagine.
They were just like, all right, 1, 2, 3. They run in, super kick. Okay, regroup. And I did like this, because Brutal Bob would, huddle over to give Tim advice, because he's his coach, right? But then the camera would swoop over to get what he's saying, and then he would literally go, wave off the camera, and then turn directions.
Nice.
And then Tim Hughes finally got in there, and he picked up Nick first.
Yeah.
And then he did a sidewalk slam, but he, held him up.
Okay.
And then did a full 360 going, ah! And, Nick's face is like, ah! The whole time. Drops him. He picks up Matt to do the same thing, ah! And then Matt's like, what are you doing? And then midway through it, super kick. And then he's just like, you want a super... He sweet shin music them.
Yeah.
And Nick's like, ow! What? Then he kicked Matt's quad.
Of course.
And Matt just started rubbing it going, what are you doing?
Oh, brilliance.
And then they beat him.
Of course.
And then Tough Guy Inc. was dispatched. Out come the Addiction, but not through the ramp.
Oh, no?
No, because these guys are ring generals.
Right.
The music hits.
Yeah.
But they jump from behind. Match didn't go as long as I had hoped for, but the Young Bucks get the win. Addiction jumps them afterwards because they're mad that they lost so quickly.
Sure.
So, Young Bucks are down. Roppongi Vice, last team out.
Okay.
They come out. They actually fight Addiction off. Roppongi Vice get the win. They win the whole gauntlet.
Wow.
And as a prize, they get a future title shot against War Machine.
Cool.
That was the whole episode. Some matches were good, some matches